Okay, shalom to everyone. Good morning, and for you it's a morning, for me it's afternoon, and we are soon getting into Shabbat, but we are doing it today because it's Rosh Chodesh Iyar, the month of Taurus, and it's a very powerful time, very powerful month to connect with. So some insights for the month. According to the Kabbalists, the 12 signs of the zodiac, each one of them have the four-letter name of God, the Havaya, the Tetragrammaton, in a different sequence. And the sequence for this month is the letters Yud, Hey, and Vav. And this symbolizes that the vessel, Malchut, is elevating and connecting with Bina. And according to the Kabbalists, this sequence is showing to us that in this month, it's a time in which we can achieve spiritual achievements, attainments, and so on, which means it's time for spiritual elevation, that it's possible, that it's in the energy of this month. But in the other hand, we know that this month is a month of judgment, and we can see it literally almost directly from the two letters of this month. We know that according to Abraham the Patriarch, we have two letters that are dominating this month. For Venus, this is the letter Pei, and for Taurus, this is the letter Vav. Pei Vav numerically equals to 86. And this is also the name of God, which is the name that represents judgment, Elohim. And this represents judgment, and therefore we know that the energy of judgment exists in this month. Now, in simple words, what is judgment? Judgment means limitations, means borders, means order, means cause and effect. It doesn't mean that we can do whatever we want. It means that there is law and order in this universe. This is what the law is about. This is Elohim, it's the law of nature. And we know, like it's not like in the law of nature in as idol worshiping, God forbid, but it speaks that Elohim 86 is the same numerical value of the nature in Hebrew, Hateva, which means in nature we have laws like gravity, and we have many laws, but the idea is that in order to energy to be revealed in our universe, we need to have limitations, we need to have border, we need to have law and order. And the name Elohim is judgment, and this month means judgment, which means there is law and order. That if we go outside of the borders that we're supposed to be in, then the judgment is starting to operate in order to bring us back into the proper frame of work for the purpose of what God planned for this universe. Which means, if you go outside of the frame that can affect in a quantum way, can affect the universe, then the light won't allow it, and it will bring us back into the frame. This is what we see. We could see it in the history in the time of the flood. The people went in quantum way, went out of the borders of the universe from the point of view of what's the purpose of the universe ultimately is, and therefore God created the limitation. Judgment came and brought back into frame to start from the beginning with Noah and his family. So this is the month that represents judgment. But in the other hand, we know that there is very powerful energy of healing in this month. And this is in the following way. Again, if you can see it with the application GoToMeeting, you can see the screen that I have there. The letter Pei represents Venus and Vav Taurus. We know that we have a system in Kabbalah that is named Atbash, that the letter Taf, Aleph, can be replaced with Taf, and Bet, which is the second from the beginning, with the second from the end, with Shin, and so on. With that type of process, the letter Pei is the sixth letter from the end. The letter Vav is the sixth from the beginning. So they can be replaced. Why it's important for us to know that? Because when we are speaking about healing, we can go to the special channel, special prayer of healing, when Moses is praying for his sister Miriam after that she got leprosy. She spoke evil tongue. In a way, she opened her mouth, and the letter Pei, by the way, represent also mouth. She opened her mouth and she got leprosy. She spoke even tongue on Moses. Now to cure her, Moses is using a prayer which is El Na Refana La. In this prayer in Hebrew, there are altogether 11 letters. And the middle letter is the letter Pei that represents the month of Venus. But if we are saying that with the system of Atbash, Pei can be replaced with Vav, and we know that Vav is considered to be central column energy, that the Vav is the letter that connects between what was before and what is coming after. It's in the middle. It's like a glue that connects right and left, or what was and what will be. So if we replace the letter Pei with Vav, we have the Vav in the middle, so the Vav is unifying the 5 letters before and the 5 letters after. As I'm repeating, we have 11 letters, and the middle is represented by the letter Pei that we can be replaced by meditation with the letter Vav. So we have 5 and 5, and the middle letter, which is Vav. The Arizal is revealing to us that this prayer is associated with 10 emanations of the emanation named Da'at, knowledge. The emanation of Da'at is the link that unites between the upper realm, the emanations of wisdom and understanding, to the channels of light that starts with Chesed and down. So there is in-between link that connects, which is knowledge. It's like knowledge, we can say it's the central column between Bina and Chokhmah. That link is very essential, because if it doesn't exist, blessing and light and healing cannot come from the world of above to our world. What happens with the story of Miriam? When she spoke the evil tongue, it's like she burned all the channels of light. It's like someone that have the electric system outside of the house, like you have the board that with all the fuses, the channels and the wires that channel light to all the different parts of the house, and they all burn off. They are burned now. Now, in order to have again electricity, you need to fix the fuses, you need to fix the wires. This is what's happening with Miriam. She blew up the fuses, and now Moses needs to replace the wires and the fuses in the spiritual realm in order that Miriam will be able again to connect with the light, to receive the light. So it happens in the place named the emanation of knowledge. So this verse, El Na Refana La, is like reconnects all the channels, that each letter represents a different channel. So we have 5 letters at the beginning of the verse and 5 letters at the end, and we have a middle letter. The Arizal is saying the 5 at the beginning, there are 5 emanations of the right column, of grace, of mercy. And the 5 at the end, there are 5 of judgment, of heroism, of overcoming. So we have the right and left, and in between we have the letter that connects, which is the secret of the Peivav. So therefore, the channel and the blessing of El Na Refana La, it's a very powerful channel for healing, especially in this month. Obviously that we can meditate only with the letters Peivav to bring energy of healing, but it's stronger with the entire verse El Na Refana La when we want to channel healing through this month. So this is about the healing aspect with the letters Peivav. Now, also they are telling us about right and left. What's the power of Rosh Chodesh Iyar? The Zohar is telling us that the Torah and the Mishkan, the tabernacle, were given in the first day of the second month in the second year. Second month is the month of Iyar, and in the second year again they're using second. So the Zohar is asking why second and second, the first day of the second and second, because he's saying to us that the month of Nisan, the month of Eris, that we were just completing yesterday, is 30 days of mercy, of the right column, of the energy of giving. After the energy of mercy comes the energy of judgment, the left column. As we said, the month of Iyar is judgment, through the letters and so on. So the first day of the month is inclusive of the entire month. So now we had the right column completed, And we have in a seed level the entire month of eyar, which is the left column, that is now also completed in a potential level. So the union between right and left in the seed level of the month bring energy of completion, because light cannot be revealed without left column. In order to reveal light, the light of wisdom, we need the left column. So the Zohar is saying that this is a time of completion. We have a complete vessel now in a potential level. So he said this is why it's a very, very powerful time. He's saying this is like something whole, complete. And also the Zohar is referring to this month as the month of Ziv, which is a special light. Ziv means in Hebrew special light. So the month of light. Again, without left column, it's impossible to reveal the light and to draw the light. Another name of healing that we know from the 72 names of God is the Yud Lamed Yud. Yud Lamed Yud is the second name, again, second. And the Zohar is stating the Kitvei Arizal is stating in Shar Psukim, in one of the gates of Rabbi Chaim Vital, that by the way, today is the Hilulah, the death anniversary of Rabbi Chaim Vital. He is stating there that the Yud Lamed Yud is associated with the sign of Taurus. And it's associated with the golden calf as well, that the people of Israel in that time, when they did the golden calf, they used the Yud Lamed Yud to help them to create the golden calf. So he's saying to us that this name Yud Lamed Yud is associated with this month. If we take it to the positive direction, the positive side, then Yud Lamed Yud, we know that it's a name for healing, as one of the reasons, because the numerical value of these letters, Yud is 10, twice Yud is 20, and Lamed is 30. Together 20 and 30 is 50, and 50 represents the 50 gates of Bina, from which all the blessings and the healing energy is coming. So therefore, in this month also we can meditate with the letters Yud Lamed Yud. Always we can meditate with them for healing, but especially this month they can assist to us to connect with the energy of healing, to bring it to our life. I'll go back a little bit to this period of time that we are in. It says that Taurus is in the month of the 49 days between Passover to Shavuot, the time in which we are counting the days of the Omer. These days, 49 days, are days of judgment. And the major part of the period, 30 days from the 49, is the month of Taurus. Since all these days is energy of judgment. Now, if we are looking what's the meaning of judgment, in the history of the Jewish nation, 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva, passed away in this time by epidemic. Now that we have the epidemic in the world, the judgment manifests in a way of epidemic. Now, obviously, the epidemic is a form of judgment, and as I said at the beginning, the purpose of judgment is limitation, is to bring us to play the game of life in the proper manner, in a way that won't destroy the universe and won't destroy the purpose for which the Almighty created the universe. So really, the Almighty and the universe are giving us a lesson now, whether that we understand it or not. They are giving us a lesson to go back and to balance ourselves a little bit, to restrict a little bit from the desire to receive from oneself alone. Now we are restricted, where like I cannot go and shop and do whatever I want, and I cannot go and hug anyone, and go and to have relations with everyone, so on. Restriction, balance. Just a second. This is what the Torah is saying, a little bit balance. So the universe is forcing it now, because God is saying, you're creating chaos over here. The Almighty is saying, just a second, let's balance the system a little bit. Now, so it's time of and period of judgment. One of the things that we can see about the judgment, that 49 is also the same numerical value of the word ill or sick in Hebrew. Chole is 49, which means these days that are days of judgment, it means that there is lack and less revelation of light. There is a vessel which is not complete, that we need to recorrect, and prepare a vessel for the light. And now there is an absence of revelation. It's not that the light doesn't exist, but there is less revelation of the light. What happens with a sick person? Less revelation of the light. The vessel of the person cannot accept the light because of different reasons. The person blocked himself. There are now certain spiritual and physical blockages, and now the person is ill. It's less revelation of light. So this is the period in which, in one hand, God forbid, sickness can be taking place, but also we can reveal the reason for the sickness and remove sickness. This is the time which can be cleanup time, cleansing time. So according to certain books, it's a cleanup time, but I will speak about this soon. Now, 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva. What it means that they died in this time? Why they died? It says because they did not respect one another. According to Judaism, according to the Midrash, we are speaking about 24,000 that they are giants, that we cannot imagine. Each one of them can resurrect a person that died. They knew the secrets of the universe. They were giants. They didn't respect one another. What's the meaning? They didn't respect one another. They didn't behave nice. It's impossible that they didn't behave nice to one to another. Externally, for sure that they behave nice one to another. It's impossible. So what's the meaning? They did not respect. In Hebrew, to respect is lechabed. It's like to give something, which means, to my opinion, they didn't give something one to another. So I would like to suggest a certain understanding that also will teach us something about us in life. When a student is studying from a teacher, when the 24th students studied from Rabbi Akiva, there is an interaction between Rabbi Akiva, the teacher, to each one of the students. Rabbi Akiva can say the same, but because each person is a different person, the interaction, the connection between giver and receiver are different, even slightly. So the moment that there is connection between two, giving and receiving, it's time in which something new can be born. It's a birth for something new, which means beside what Rabbi Akiva is teaching, the interaction with the student is awakening a new understanding within the student, something that he didn't understand before, that just and only the interaction with a teacher can do that. This is why everyone should have a teacher, because without a teacher, that something new that can be born, that connection cannot be made, because you need both. You need the giver, right column, and the receiver, left column, and then a new fruit can come into being, into creation. Each one of them had his own fruits that were coming and that were created from that interaction with their teacher, Rabbi Akiva. Now, when they have that fruit, do you respect, which means do you give from your own fruits, the new fruits that now came about inside of you? Are you willing to share it with others? Or you are feeling that this is my fruit, this is my uniqueness, I know and understand something in a unique way, and you are not that willing to share it with others. If you are not willing to respect and to share it with others, this is not respecting one another. And for that, they were judged, to my opinion. So therefore, we are speaking about something so subtle, because they were so giant, something so subtle for them was very big. So we need to understand that when someone have a fruit that is born inside of him as understanding, the interaction between teacher and student, and you learn something that can benefit others, you are not losing anything if you share it with others. You are just gaining, because when you share spirituality, you don't lose. You don't lose your uniqueness because you brought it to this world. It's like when one of the sages is revealing something, now in other places in the world, people will reveal it much easier because he created the way, the spiritual path between the upper universe to here, and now everyone can connect with it. It's not that he is losing it, he brought it. So therefore, the person that opened a channel of light to this world, the light that will reveal through this channel, he will get dividends for that anyway. It's not a loss if you share what you've got spiritually. It's not a loss. The only way is that you need to share it in proper way with proper people and so on. But obviously, all the 24 students of Rabbi Akiva were appropriate to receive the information one to another, and to give and to receive from one to another. So this is the issue of judgment. So therefore, the moment that they were in this period of time, and this is a lack of revelation of light from the day after Passover till Shavuot, there is a lack of revelation of light. It's judgment, and especially in the month of Iyar. So boom, epidemic came and they died. So this is why we need to be careful in this period of time, in the time of judgment, not to judge others, not to be in a frame of judgment, because similar attack is similar. If we will be in energy of judgment by judging others, the judgment, we are inviting judgment to our life. So we need to be very careful in judging others. The same that Miriam did by judging Moses, leprosy came automatically to her. The epidemic came to her house, to her. So this is why we need to be very careful with this. And we have the tendency today with the WhatsApp and with the Twitter and so on. We tweet and we judge one another, and we see the news, and all the world need to know what we think about everyone. It's a mistake. I need to judge a situation. I'm not judging a person. I'm judging the situation, how the behavior of that person is influencing my life. And according to this, I need to make my decision how I will behave, but not to judge the other person. I'm judging the situation to learn how to behave, how to advance, how to go towards revealing light. But when we judge others just because we judge them, we need to understand that we invite judgment into our life as well. And obviously that all of us are doing it. So the idea is to get the message and to do it less and less and less. The lesser, the better. It's better not to judge no one, not the government, not the prime minister, not the ministry of that or that. When we judge, we invite judgment to our life. If I can do something about the situation, then I should get up and do something. This is something else. But just to sit in my saloon and to be a potato couch and to judge everyone, it's wrong. It's something that we need to learn from this month, to be careful. Another angle in this month that there is that shows that it's energy of judgment. The planet that rules over Taurus is Venus, and Venus in Hebrew is Noga, and the numerical value of Noga is 64. 64 is the same numerical value of the word din, which is judgment. Again, we see another angle for judgment, so it's no wonder that there is judgment this month. And according to Kabbalah, Venus have two aspects. It's named also in the Zohar, is calling a certain level of negativity, Klipat Venus, the shell of Venus, negativity that is associated with Venus, the name Venus. What's the problem over there? That is half good, half bad. And the problem is when half good and half bad are connecting, they are mixing, and then it's making that everything will be bad, because when good and bad are mixing, everything will be bad. But when we separate between the good and the bad, everything, all the energy of that level of energy named Venus will be transformed into positive, into good. So we need to separate, like with a knife, to cut between the good and the bad, to separate, and by that we turn everything to be good. And that spiritual knife in this month is the letter Vav of Taurus, because the letter Vav is long as a knife. This is why in the book, the letters of Rabbi Akiva, is saying that each letter, when the Almighty was creating the universe, each one of the letters of the Hebrew alphabet that all the letters together participate in creating the universe, each one of the letters is coming in front of the Creator and saying, I would like to create the universe. So the Vav comes in front of the Almighty, says, I would like to create the universe. God is asking why. And the letter Vav saying, because when people are praising you, they are starting with me. Ve'ata, and you are holy. They are going to praise you, but starting with me, with the letter Vav. So God says, but also there is another word that is starting with you, and this is Vayach, like to beat down, to create a destruction, because when the people were crying in the desert for meat, that they don't have meat in the desert, just we see the manna, we want also meat, and they were with the temptation to meat. When they got it, it says that God was hitting them, vayach, like beating them. But it's in Hebrew starts with the letter vav, which means in a simple way, the letter vav has also energy of judgment. But just a second, the letter vav is the energy of central column. How could be that it has energy of judgment? Simply because central has to have connection to the mercy side, right column, and to the left side, judgment, heroism. So the letter vav must have both in order to be the link that unite to be central column. It must have both. So if we behave the right way, we turn the letter Vav to be more in the side of mercy a little bit, and it helps us to cut away between the good and the bad and turn everything to good. Then it means that it's overcoming the negativity, and then it serves as central column system. But if we don't behave the right way, we are acting in a selfish way, then the letter Vav is tilting, a little bit moving towards the judgment, and then it's behaving in a way of judgment. Now, if we are going back to the 24 students of Rabbi Akiva, the moment that they went a little bit to the left, they didn't respect each other, then the judgment manifests. And this is the letter Vav, and Rabbi Akiva is describing the letter Vav as a staff, as a staff that you can hit with. This is the shape of the letter Vav, which means there is also energy of judgment with the letter Vav, even though that we consider it a letter of balance, central column system, and a letter. So we can see that there are many aspects of judgment in this month, but it doesn't have to be bad. It can be beautiful. If you keep yourself straight, like the letter Vav, you keep the central column, there is abundance of light, of healing, of prosperity that is being revealed in this month. It's yes, we need to build a vessel for it, but there is the potential, which is huge potential for a blessing in this month, because the Vav is the Vav that connects. Okay. What is the side of blessing in this month? From the point of view of healing, we know the Midrash is telling us that the manna started to come down to the people of Israel in this month. And the manna is a bread that the angels are eating. It's like a spiritual food, and it cleanses the entire body. This is why in Kabbalah books they are saying that this month is time of healing. They are saying in the wisdom of medicine, they are saying that it's time in which the physical body of the person, the stomach, the gallbladder, can go through cleansing, physical cleansing and spiritual cleansing, but especially the physical one, which means all the digesting system can go through physical cleansing in this month. It's time which is good to do something to eat natural and to clean the body. There is assistance from the energy of the month to do that type of cleansing. It's good for the body to go through this, because then there is energy of healing and cleansing in this month, cleanup energy. So the manna in one hand is energy of healing and cleanup. In another hand, the manna represents the bread, and bread represents sustenance, livelihood. So therefore, there is the blessing of sustenance and livelihood as well in this month. It's symbolized with the letter P, that it says, don't say pay with pay yud, say pay hey, which is mouth. And says by in the book of Rabbi Akiva, I am the one that gave mouth to the human being, with which he can control the universe. So therefore, the letter P can give us control. The control is either to go to the side of idolatry or to go to the side of redemption, because the letter P represents in Hebrew the word pdut, purkana, which is redemption. The energy that there is within the P to redeem ourselves from negativity. But if we look to the letter P as it's written in the scrolls, the letter P has inside of it, in a very subtle way, we can see the letter Bet, which is representing blessing. So there is a blessing in this month. Inside, in a very subtle way, there is the energy of blessing. But externally, the letter P is being described as a snake that is hiding his head inside. So it can turn to be also as the energy of the snake, which is crime, which is negativity. So it's up to us to choose which type of energy is being revealed. There is abundance that is being revealed in this month or not. So therefore, the Kabbalists are suggesting to us, in order to draw abundance in this month, to meditate with the three letters that are the word abundance in Hebrew, the word shefa. The letters are Shin, Pei, and Ayin, and they are saying that the letter Shin is connecting to the upper realm from which the abundance can come. The letter Pei is the intermediate, which is the channels to bring the light. And the last letter Ayin represent the 70 levels of energy, which is 7 emanations times 10, representing the vessels, representing this world, to accept and to receive the blessing. So we meditate to bring light from the Almighty through the letter Shin to the Pei to the Ayin and to manifest it in our life. So therefore, this is also another possible powerful meditation in this month to draw abundance, because it's involved the letter Pei that serves in this month as a channel to connect between the upper realm to our realm. Now, what do we have more in this month? In this month, we have Lag BaOmer, which is the 18th month, the 18th day of the month, and in Lag BaOmer, we have the completion of the potential vessel already. It's completed. Again, we have energy of completion. In that day, Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai passed away and left this world and left for us the book of splendor. If we cannot connect, if we cannot remove judgment from our life in a regular way, there is a way of connecting to light in a very powerful way and positive way that have no false into it, and this is the book of splendor. That when we read, if we don't know Hebrew, to scan at least, when we connect with the book of splendor in Hebrew, not the translation. Translation is good for the understanding, but to connect to the energy, we need the channels of light, which are the Hebrew letters. So when we look into the book of splendor and we read in the book of splendor, we can bring a lot of blessing into our life. So to conclude what that I was saying, what we are saying about this Rosh Chodesh, it's energy of completion. It's energy of a lot of light, of glory that is being revealed in this world. Month of Ziv, there is a lot of light being potentially can be revealed in this month. But on the physical reality, there is a defect in the vessels. There is the vessel is like need to be prepared to receive that light. So therefore, we need to make more effort in order to receive that light. This is the catch over here. But the potential is very powerful light for healing, for abundance. It's unbelievable light, and also for spiritual elevation, because this is a month that can allow it. Which means without left column, without the energy of judgment, nothing can be revealed. And as we said at the beginning, without borders, law and order, nothing can be revealed. Which means if everyone will do whatever they want to do whenever they want to do, there won't be nothing. A person needs to have certain order in life. In that way, something can be revealed in his life. He can do something in his life. But without borders, without a vessel, nothing can be revealed. If I don't have a glass or a cup and I pour water, if I don't have a vessel and I pour water, I can pour all the water in this world and I won't have water to drink. I need a vessel in order to reveal. These days of the month of Taurus is time of building a vessel in a holy way. This is why we need to be very careful with the respect of others. We have the lesson from the 24,000 students of Rabbi Akiva. This is why we need to make an effort to be careful with the respect of our close ones, our parents, our children, our friends, especially the close one, because many mistakes are being done, especially with the close ones, because we let ourselves to be the natural way, and we are putting down a little bit the guard sometimes, and we might speak in the improper way. This is why we need more awareness in this month in that aspect. To be careful the way that we talk and to try to see the positive in the other side. Anyway, this is a general rule that Rabbi Nachman from Bereslav, Rabbi Nachman said that we should see the positive in the other person, even if we think that he is a bad person. When in our eyes we focus on the positive of the other person, we will awake that force, we will strengthen that force that will assist the person that the positive gradually will overcome the negative. But if we focus on the negative, we do the opposite. So therefore, in generally in life, we need to make that type of effort. Not every time it's easy, but this is what we should do. And with that process, will assist others also that their positive will come their negative part. Instead to be with judgment and criticism that show the person what's wrong, we should try to make the emphasis on the positive side of that individual, even if we do it just in our mind, not even talking, even we don't have interaction with that person, just in our mind, it assists. So therefore, I wish everyone the new month of Taurus to be a month of healing, of prosperity, of abundance, and God willing that it will be a very good month.